Meghan Markle's products from her brand as ever.
Enjoy from Meghan! Oh my gosh!
She wrote that like.
Look at that! Did you guys see it? Enjoy from Meghan as ever. John,
I know you're nice. You don't like to make fun of people. How dumb is that name?
So Meghan Markle's jam, preserves, spread, sauce, whatever you want to call it, her fruit in a jar has hit the market. It has made it to consumers.
Mediocre. Like I very much suspected, the premium you are paying for these products, which I feel like are overpriced, is simply because Meghan is a duchess. No other reason.
Meghan put out a handful of products back up on her website, and I took a look at the site several hours later.
Meghan Markle's As Ever product launch has just got mocked by the UK government.
Meghan Markle will release champagne? Champagne from France? Or is it going to be champagne from some random company that is non-labeled and Meghan is just going to slap her label on it? Yes.
Meghan Markle hard launched her lifestyle brand As Ever with a line of artisanal foodstuffs that sold out in under an hour. But we got our hands on the raspberry spread. So here's another red raspberry jam from Stonewall Kitchen. And then from Wegmans, we have red raspberry preserves. Let's see how they all line up.
She's hawking her marmalade, and her friend Oprah just put it on her most favorite things, Maureen. Oprah loves the marmalade so much. It's a favorite of hers that came across totally organically.
Meghan Markle hasn't poisoned me. I feel like Meghan Markle saw Link Lauren and my address on the shipping and probably put rat poison in the food.
I get that she's really proud of her spindly cursive, but this just doesn't look good. As many of you pointed out, the E being lowercase just looks so insane on a label.
Some of the packaging I feel like is profoundly cheap. There's one in particular thing that I'm like, wow, she really missed out on not doing this, because even the cheap stuff I have downstairs also has this branding trait, but Meghan went the cheap route.
Every celebrity rebrand starts with a dream, and Meghan Markle believed As Ever would be hers. In her mind, this wasn't a simple side project, it was a full shift, a reset, a polished lifestyle venture built to show the world she could rise above the drama, the interviews, and the constant headlines.
It's just confusing because you told me that over text. We're gonna try this, and I was like, "What?"
You're trying Meghan's As Ever. I wonder if she actually. Do you think she actually put the sticker on?
She imagined the soft beige packaging in elegant kitchens, the gentle phrases shared online, and people displaying her products like small bits of luxury. She wanted As Ever to be her second act, the proof she didn't need the crown, the palace, or the royal system. She could build something refined on her own, something tasteful and premium. For a moment, the dream felt real. The trailers looked sleek, and the branding seemed intentional.
Well, let's kick it off because Meghan Markle is in the headlines once again for really probably having the worst brand execution to date.
There was nothing about her brand that was good from the start to a distinguishing eye. She was a fraud, what I can see from the beginning, who was just using opportunities to advance herself. Her brand wasn't one built on substance. It was based on using people, and this is no surprise to me.
The prices were set high to signal exclusivity, and the launch photos, perfectly lit and carefully curated, suggested a woman entering a new, elevated chapter of her life. But that polished dream collapsed the moment the boxes reached people's homes. Because the truth of a brand isn't in its marketing, it's in the customer's hands. And when buyers opened those boxes, they didn't see luxury, they saw confusion.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it says open with care. Look at the packaging.
Oh my God, what is it? Oh, you got to unbox it.
Open with care. Look at her calligraphy. It's so special. Drew's doing an unboxing. What is that, Drew?
That's Archie's calligraphy.
It's in her calligraphy.
Was she wearing a sock on her hand when she did that?
That's right. What is it? I can't believe you remember that.
Buyers expected elegance, craftsmanship, and a premium experience. But instead of refined packaging, many opened boxes that looked rushed, thin tissue paper, crooked labels, and jars that felt ordinary. The beige aesthetic that appeared soft and soothing online felt flat and lifeless in person. It wasn't minimalism, it wasn't simplicity, and it certainly wasn't premium. It looked unfinished. Some customers opened the spreads and noticed the texture wasn't what they imagined. Others saw the cookie mix needed ingredients they assumed would be included, and tea that smelled strong tasted unexpectedly weak, almost as if the scent worked harder than the formula itself.
It's Sussex Sprinkles.
Sussex Sprinkles.
I am so excited because I have been looking forward to receiving Sussex Sprinkles. It's going to taste like potpourri. Yeah, it's, we don't know yet.
The decorative flowers meant to be Meghan's whimsical signature touch appeared dried, brittle, and dull. Buyers didn't see romance or artistry. They saw something closer to potpourri tossed into a jar. The illusion began to crack. And that crack quickly grew, because once people sensed something was off, they couldn't ignore it. At first, Meghan's team dismissed the returns as normal. Every launch has a few, but the numbers kept rising faster than anyone expected, then doubled, then tripled, then spiraled.
Meg's brand has been plagued with one problem after another, many of which were easily avoided. But the recent issues of having to refund some of the apricot soup purchases, once again, same problems she had the first time around, and the tasteless.
The customer service inbox filled with refund requests, and the most surprising part wasn't the number. It was that many returns came from buyers who hadn't even opened the products. Sealed jars, untouched packaging, perfect tissue paper. People were sending everything back based on first impression alone, and for a premium-priced brand, that is devastating. But the issue wasn't only appearance. Some buyers reported unsealed jars as well.
Meghan Markle's products from her brand as ever. Okay, they finally came in the mail. We have orange marmalade, raspberry spread, strawberry spread.
Others returned spreads that were runny or unusually thin, and some received jars with labels applied so unevenly they looked like factory seconds. But one item, the one that became the symbol of the entire fiasco, caused the deepest embarrassment for Meghan's team. A candle with no wick, a candle that couldn't be lit, couldn't function, and couldn't be explained. When Meghan heard about it, she froze. This wasn't a rumor or a joke, it was real. And it wasn't just one candle. Multiple buyers reported the same problem.
Overall, guys, what I will say about the packaging is that it looks cheap, especially the tea. I feel like these tins are they're very cheap. And for somebody who is obsessed with packaging, Meghan Markle, did you know that this sticker is crooked? I believe it's also crooked on the back here. Yeah. So it's one of these things where if you are claiming to put out, you could say, somewhat a premium product, if you are claiming to want to elevate the everyday, you might want to make sure your manufacturer knows what they're doing and avoiding putting the sticker on. Like,
even though a few items sold out, the wickless candle didn't just reveal a mistake, it exposed a brand unprepared for the attention it demanded. When return numbers reached a critical point, Meghan's team launched a full internal review, something they never expected to face so early in the release. What they uncovered was painful. Certain batches of spreads were shipped without proper vacuum seals, some jars were underfilled, labels were wrinkled or misaligned, tea blends looked rushed, decorative flowers arrived browned or crushed, and a portion of the candles truly did lack wicks. Quality control hadn't slipped, it had collapsed.
A few things sold out. The honey, the apricot spread were sold out, but the cookie and crepe mix and the dead flowers and the teas were still in stock a few hours later. Now, there might have been like a lag, I suppose. I was just like refreshing the page every now and then to check, but it took a few hours, several hours, much longer for things to sell.
It had fully collapsed. Meghan had spent years presenting herself as someone with sharp attention to detail, someone who noticed the small things others missed. Yet here, where it mattered most, the details were the very thing working against her. Factories rushed to meet deadlines, suppliers cut corners, packaging had weak oversight, shipping wasn't monitored well, and no one wanted to admit how unprepared the entire operation was. The review ended with a recommendation no founder wants to hear: pause production and reassess everything.
Meghan Markle's as ever product launch has just got mocked and roasted by the UK government. Now, why am I saying that? Well, let's get to what the Daily Mail is reporting right here. Meghan Markle was mercilessly mocked on Have I Got News for You, as stars take aim at her as ever brand and Netflix show before ridiculing Prince Harry over the Santa Bali scandal. And so Megxie has been ridiculed by the BBC.
For Meghan, the realization was crushing. As Ever wasn't failing because of bad luck, negativity, or unfair criticism. It was failing because its own foundation was rushed, inconsistent, and far from the premium image it tried to project. And while she was still processing the internal issues, a bigger storm was forming outside, one that threatened the entire future of As Ever. Retailers don't panic, argue, or send angry messages. They simply pull back. And as the return numbers climbed, that's exactly what Megan began to face.
Eating them? Why not? They're edible flour sprinkles. Gonna get that holiday smell in my kitchen just like Megan.
Drew, just put that whole thing in your mouth right now.
Yeah, do it.
Gross.
No, never. Is there anything else in the box? What's in the box?
It looks like
Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Gwyneth said.
A lot of waste. Oh my God, that's not good for the environment.
No, it's terrible.
Elton John's gonna have to make another donation.
More carbon footprints.
The only thing that was in that box was that tiny
little
little
That's it.
my
Fucking
God.
box.
That's it. That's
What
all that
a
was in there.
waste.
Wow.
What a waste.
What an idiot. Wow.
There's nothing in here. I mean, wow.
With love, Megan. Oh, that's very thoughtful, whoever sent that.
Emails that once arrived quickly now took days, and calls that used to end with excitement faded into vague promises to follow up. Reorder plans were paused, and interest from potential partners disappeared overnight. Stores weren't rejecting As Ever. They were simply avoiding it, and avoidance is far more dangerous. Every retailer saw the same pattern: high prices, rising refunds, and inconsistent quality. No store wants that risk on its shelves or the hassle of defective returns. To them, As Ever wasn't premium, it was a liability. And liabilities get pushed aside quietly, discreetly, professionally. Megan felt the shift immediately. She heard the hesitation in their voices and saw it between the lines of every email.
First impressions are notoriously hard to shake, and the first impressions of As Ever are really bad. It's unorganized, it's unprofessional, bad tastes to the product, so, the products aren't very good, overpriced, chaos, stocking issues, shipping issues, having to refund things. It's not looking good.
She could feel the distancing long before anyone admitted it. This wasn't just a launch going wrong, it was a launch being left behind. Branding is more than a label, it's a story, and Megan believed As Ever would tell one of calm mornings, soft comfort, and elegant simplicity. The beige packaging, scripted phrases, and minimal style were meant to create a luxurious, meditative feel. But beige is risky. When minimalism isn't executed perfectly, it stops looking elegant and starts looking cheap. And in person, that's exactly how much of As Ever appeared. The labels lacked texture, the jars lacked weight, and the tissue looked flat.
Megan's spread too thin. A withering take on Megan's latest money-making scheme and why we were shocked by what we discovered.
I'm nervous.
Yeah,
What
did
if-
she poison it?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, look at all this wrapped stuff, guys. All right, well,
That's fancy.
She took the strawberry jam already out so she could do the test, but this is how it comes. I'm doing a fair unboxing. We're gonna be fair, Megan.
The printed phrases felt less poetic and more self-focused. People didn't see refinement, craftsmanship, or premium quality. They saw something trying hard to look expensive without offering anything to justify the price. And the harsh truth about customer returns is simple. When the packaging fails, the product inside rarely gets a real chance. No one wants to defend a $36 spread that looks like it belongs on a discount shelf, or a $64 candle that arrives looking unfinished, or a jar of luxury flowers that resembles pet store garnish. The branding didn't elevate the product, it exposed it.
Oh God! No, I don't like it. It tastes fake.
It tastes bad. It tastes like a cheap.
It tapes. I swear, I know everyone thinks I'm fake because I'm hating Megan. It really doesn't taste good.
No, because I don't hate her, and I think that.
All right, Valeria, you want to taste the orange?
Once people noticed the gap between the aesthetic and the price, the return wave grew even stronger. But the real embarrassment, the one Megan still can't escape, came from the item that became the face of the collapse. Every brand downfall has a defining moment, and for As Ever, it wasn't the runny spreads, wilted flowers, or crooked labels. It was the candle, the product Megan believed would anchor the luxury image. The centerpiece of the aesthetic arrived in multiple homes, missing the one thing a candle must have, the wick. A wickless candle isn't just defective, it's humiliating. You can excuse a crooked label, defend a slightly runny spread, or argue that flowers can look dull naturally.
Require a spoon and it's liquid and could be poured when you think of spread. So this is a problem. Even though they do disclose.
But you can't explain a candle that can't burn. The wickless candle shifted from a private embarrassment to the silent symbol of the brand's instability. Inside Megan's team, the discovery set off emergency emails, supplier audits, and frantic calls to factories that now had to admit what they had never disclosed. Some batches hadn't been inspected properly before shipping. And the worst part was simple. A wickless candle doesn't look luxurious. It looks careless. It told buyers exactly what they needed to know. The brand wasn't ready for the prestige it was trying to sell. If something that basic slipped through production, what else had been overlooked? That question pushed Megan into the hardest phase of the launch. There's a moment in every failing project when the truth stops whispering and starts shouting. And for Megan, that moment arrived in a quiet internal meeting. No cameras, no PR, just honesty.
She does announce that it's sold out, but that feels very contrived and manipulative because, as we've said, she's never provided the number of units sold, so we have no idea if it's sold out of like 50 jars or 1,000 jars. No idea, so telling us it's sold out is completely meaningless.
Her team laid out the numbers. The returns weren't slowing, stabilizing, or improving. They were accelerating. Customers weren't just disappointed. They were rejecting the entire premise of the brand. It wasn't one product, one batch, or one mistake. It was the whole experience. And this revealed something even harder for Megan to face. People weren't returning the items because they disliked her, but because the brand failed to deliver on its promise. Behind the calm colors and inspirational notes, the products lacked the craftsmanship people expect when they pay top-tier prices, and no level of branding or storytelling could hide that. Megan, who had tied so much of her identity to this lifestyle venture, felt the emotional weight of every defective shipment.
She shared a clip of this moment where, as far as I'm concerned, this is essentially the UK government mocking and brutally roasting Meghan Markle's As Ever product launch.
Every refund request and every quietly cancelled retail partnership reminded her this wasn't just a business issue, it was a reputational one. A failed brand doesn't stay in the warehouse. It clings to the founder and rewrites the story they tried to tell. Megan realized she wasn't battling a smear campaign, she was facing the consequences of her own product. But the final blow, the one that closed the first chapter of As Ever, came from the people she needed most, the original buyers. There's a cold truth in the lifestyle market. You can sell a dream, but customers decide if it survives. And they made their decision. The return boxes kept coming, heavy with disappointment.
Space. Because as a business, if you do seasonal drops, you do want it to sell out. But here, the Meg is clearly using such small quantities for a totally different reason. What she is actually doing is basically manufacturing the headlines that her products sold out to create an air of success around a subpar performance.
Some boxes held items that were half used, others were untouched, and a few were returned with the packaging carefully put back together, as if buyers were embarrassed by how far the products fell short of their expectations. A handful of customers added short notes, not insults, not attacks, just honest points about quality, value, and feeling let down. The most striking part was this: very few people complained about the idea itself. They complained about the execution. People genuinely wanted As Ever to succeed. The concept was appealing, the promise was exciting, and the aesthetic looked attractive at first glance. But the brand couldn't support the weight of the story it was trying to tell, and the wave of returns made that reality impossible to ignore.
As Ever as a whole really has had no consistent, defined messaging that will stand out in any sort of a way. It's just sort of bland, it's just sort of boring and low-key, just kind of sitting there doing nothing, being boring and not tasty.
Megan's team tried to spin the situation, soften the message, and protect the brand's dignity, but the truth was impossible to hide. As Ever didn't fall because of outside noise, it fell because the most important people, the paying customers, walked away. And once customers leave, a brand has only two choices: rebuild from the ground up or fade quietly. Megan now stands at that crossroads. Does she push forward, refine the vision, and fix the mistakes, or accept that As Ever's first chapter ended in a way she never expected? The world is watching her next move. But one reality remains: No amount of branding can save a product that doesn't justify its price, and no lifestyle dream survives a return wave this large. This wasn't just a setback, it was a wake-up call, a reminder that luxury isn't declared, luxury is earned. And for Meghan Markle, the future depends not on her name, but on whether she learns from the collapse of the brand she hoped would be her legacy.